Well, see, Bryson, you're a young bloke. That's the asset here, because the young people might listen to you. How can you stop encouraging school children to skip school, to protest in the streets about climate change when half the stuff they're being told is untrue and they know little, or to stop hating their own country?
Well, it's probably a good question. I don't have the answer, but we've probably got to start with their parents. And I know some parents have tried to do their kids better, and then the school system and some of their mates have led them astray. We need to get back to the reality of Australia and where we come from, and where our food comes from and where resources come from. You know, we all know, you and I both know that many people think that. So we've got to start bringing people back to the bush. We've got to reconnect with bring the city country cousins connection back to society, and go from there. And I'm going to actively encourage people to come to my community.
Good on you. I mean, you represent an electorate, and our viewers, forgive the breaking up there a little bit, but it's worth listening to this young man. This electorate that he represents involves mining and resources. We're now in an energy crisis, Bryson, thanks to the demonisation of the coal industry and this premature push to renewables. Just say, from a young person's perspective, you've lived in the industry, what is the importance of coal to our economy and meeting our energy needs?
Well, it's very important. And we saw a couple of weeks ago just in Queensland, when the coal-fired generators at Callide Power Station were down for maintenance, Queensland was short on energy, and we were getting told not to put the dishwasher on and to save energy and all this. And then once maintenance was finished and those generators were back online, all of a sudden we had the problem was over. So that just shows you in the short term how important it is, but into the long term. And as far as the economy, these extra taxes, I don't know the figure off the top of my head as far as how much we pulled off the last budget, but these new taxes that the Queensland government is taxing the coal industry yet again is meant to bring, just in the next quarter, I think $4.8 billion into the Queensland state coffers. So think of all the services that can pay for. So the industry gets taken for granted a lot.
What about, we're running out of time, but what about fighting? Would you be fighting for a brand new high efficiency, low emission, coal-fired power station to be built in Queensland? They're building about 320 around the world and using our coal to fire them. That'd be a good start, wouldn't it?
Oh, look, I'd support projects across the board that bring us cheap, reliable energy and that give us the opportunity to develop as a nation. And whatever that looks like across the board, I'm there to back it.
Good on you. Good on you. We're running out of time, but I just want to make this point to our viewers because Bryson made this point earlier, but I know that when he was at university, he took some of his friends from the city out to the bush, and they were of his age, and they'd see a big crop of sorghum and they'd say to Bryson, "What's that?" So at the end of the interview, Bryson, do city people really understand the way of the bush?
No, they don't. Many don't. Some do. But we've got to show them that as well. And that's part of why I bring my mates out to the bush, to show them that there is, in fact, plenty of trees in rural and regional Queensland, and that farmers actually need their topsoil to grow a crop, because people forget that and assume that we just let it all run out to the reef. And of course, even just showing people what different crops are is a good step. So we need to do more of it. I'm happy to bring more people from the city out to the bush.
Good on you. Great to talk to you from the John Darian Servo. It's a pioneering interview, I've got to tell you, proving, of course, that regional Australia lacks appropriate telecommunications. Bryson, good luck, congratulations, and we'll keep in touch.
Thanks, Alan.
There is Bryson Head, the 26-year-old recently elected member for the state seat of Callide in the Queensland Parliament.